Hello and welcome again to the lecture series The Ascended Masters Answer the Fundamental Questions of Life. This lesson is entitled Lesson 3, Which Teacher to Follow, Part 2. Now let us examine the characteristics of authorized messengers. Generally speaking, channels may be placed in two major categories, namely those who communicate genuine messages of the Great White Brotherhood and those who are not. A channel not receiving messages from the Ascended Master Ram gives out partially truth. The degree of accuracy of the message depends upon the spiritual development of both the channel and that of the sender of the message. For a channel to receive dictations directly from the Great White Brotherhood, a special dispensation from the Karmic Board is required. These type of dispensations, authorized by the cosmic law, are given very sparingly, namely on the average of only 100 years within a 2000-year cycle. These dictations then contain the absolute truth. In this case, we're talking about an authorized, appointed or accredited messenger of the Great White Brotherhood. The Masters gave some guidelines for recognizing the characteristics of an authorized messenger of the Great White Brotherhood. Here they are. 1. The key personality of a true channel is true humility. The Ascended Master have said, one of the key masters in causing the destruction of Lemuria and Atlantis was the spiritual arrogance of those in charge of the temples. Any type of personal ambition or ego shuts the door at once. 2. The motive of the channel is most important. Is the motive to serve the light or make money from the instructions? The only motive of the messenger of a Great White Brotherhood is to serve the Great Ones. One Sheila, who worked with Geraldine, said of her, she had absolutely no personal ambitions. William Carcier said, I have no axe to grind, seek no financial reward, but rejoice in the opportunity to represent the Great Ones who administer to you and to me. The true messenger does not charge for the dictations. Freely have you received, freely shall ye give. Of course, if there are expenses such as renting a room, travel expenses, a reasonable admission charge may be placed. Any dictations appearing in print must be sold to the public at a reasonable price. Charging huge amounts for speaking engagement, publications, and conferences is a strong indication that the organization is not tuned into the Great White Brotherhood. 3. The messenger should not assume any titles such as Guru of Ma, Vicar of Christ, or Master. 4. Authorized messengers of the Brotherhood have the benefit of a special dispensation granted by the Karmic Board. These dispensations are extremely difficult to obtain. In this case, a major stockpile of energy is available to the Brotherhood, and that stockpile is used by the Great Ones to obtain a major dispensation such as the ones given to the I Am activity and the Bridge to Freedom. 5. In order to maintain in a high state of listening grace and to be receptive to high vibrations, the messenger needs to refrain from eating meat. 6. A true messenger does not make the student dependent on him, but explains the law and guides the student to look to his own I Am presence for answers. 7. A true messenger will ask everyone to return the energy of the masters through decrees, visualization and songs. Students are asked to bring their own house in order, to master bad habits, to develop their 4 lower bodies, and to make the physical body the example and temple of the living God. The knowledge contained in the dictations must be made available to all of mankind. It cannot be withheld from anyone. It must be translated into all major languages. 9. True messengers give credit where credit is due. For instance, Geraldine Innocenti gave credit to the Ascended Masters David Lloyd and Mr. Ballard for being sponsors during the transmission flame service of the Bridge to Freedom. Whenever there were articles printed in the Bridge to Freedom journal, the name of the author was mentioned. There was no deception of any kind. 10. A true messenger is always in full control of his faculties at all times. He can stop hearing the messages at will. 11. Knowing he is karmically responsible for any suffering that his dictation causes to any individual, the true messenger, except in the rarest of circumstances, does not predict the date of a cataclysm. The last time such a prediction was made was 12,000 years ago, just before the sinking of Poseidonus. 12. Dictations from the Ascended Master Ram since 1930 are clear and concise. They contain much substance, detail and hard facts. Those that originate from other realms often deal in generalities. They offer little concrete data. There's a lot of talk about love without mentioning the other 6 God virtues, and students are overly praised for just listening. According to the Masters, the information given out in the 1930s and 50s, if applied in our daily lives, is many times sufficient to make the ascension. If this is so, where is there any need to look elsewhere? Why would we need channels who can only report from their own limited vision and give out only partial truth? The Masters have said that we cannot pick and choose like butterflies between different teachings. That would be like accepting one side of a dollar bill, rejecting the other. We can't have it both ways. We cannot mix the teaching with those of the channels of today. When Jesus was addressing the multitude, he did not first consult the village psychic for advice. He taught what has been taught in the temples of the Brotherhood. Adhering to truth means change. Change in attitude and behavior. Even change in friends and your way of life. Most students resist change. The Master said that the Goddess of Truth is not very popular with mankind. However, the Goddess of Love and Mercy are very popular. The Maharaja added, truth is one of the sweetest friends of man. For if you do not know the truth, how can you be set free? The Ascended Master Hilarion said, those virtues and their activities and the ascended beings who represent them would have long have been retired from the atmosphere of earth were it not sometimes for a single life stream who during an entire embodiment kept an anchorage on earth of their presence, through contemplation and application. In this way, such individuals kept the thin line sustained between earth and that of the realm of the Ascended Masters. This concludes this part of the lesson. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it, and that we'll meet again for another presentation of the teachings of the Ascended Masters. God bless you.